Jonathan, I've spent the last few days reviewing everything I could find on YouTube that you put up, and read everything that you've posted on your other website, King of the Hits. And what struck me the most, what pissed me off the most, was on your website, King of the Hits, you post a picture of the Christmas card you sent out this last year, and that you pimp your mother out just really got to me. I mean, bless her soul, she was 91. I'll give that you were upset by it. I don't know this fucking lady. For all I knew, she was completely aware of what you're up to, living in denial. I don't know. But you ended, I don't remember precisely how you put it, but on some note, you're trying to say that, your mom always believed in you, and mums tend to be right, and mothers will overlook murder. Mother's love does know no bounds, so don't proffer her up as some legitimate reason to have people believe you, okay? And that's a fucking shitty thing you're doing too. You're just, I love the way that you did your time in prison, and you met up with all the other innocent people in there, because the authorities never get it right. The courts never get it right. Our jails are just full of people that are innocent. As evil as the world appears to be, all the shit that's going on, all the crimes that are being committed, we never actually get the right people. It's innocent people like you, 64-year-olds who, where are the people that are willing? You like to come across that you constantly are saying that you're bisexual. And over the course of your adult life, I'm sure you have had sex with women, but who are these women? Who's willing to stand up and say, you know what, this is an ex-lover of mine, he's a wonderful man, I can never imagine him doing something like this. Where are the men that were willing to come forward to say, yeah, this isn't what Jonathan's about, and I've heard that your colleagues back you up. I don't know. Who are these people? Maybe I don't have the facts in front of me, but my bet is that you've exclusively gone after young boys. And what is it about that dynamic of getting a sort of confused young guy naked and get him to do something and he's going to later regret? Why do you keep reliving that? Why is that what you revisit over and over and over again, huh? Tell me. And you make this case that you can see that, well, I have had sex with 16-year-olds, and I technically broke the law because of the hypocrisy that, well, you could be with a 16-year-old woman, but you can't be with a 16-year-old man. And I use that term loosely. You're still considered a girl or a boy at that age. Why straddle the fence of what's legal? And how is it that you're assuring yourself that you are actually with 16-year-olds? Someone's 16, well, what proof is it that they're 16? Most people at that age, they don't carry around the ID because they don't have it. They don't have driver's licenses. Huh? You don't give a shit. You're not concerned about that. But how can you say with any sort of... How can you say definitively, no, I've never been with someone who's underage? How do you know? How do you assure that never happens? It's just never been a concern of yours. And you had a nice long run there. It took a while. When did this trial come about? 7 years ago? So 2000? It's a long time to... the longer you got away with it, the easier it became. Anyway, it just bugged me what you did with your mother, because my mother played a role in me winding up in bed with you, Had my mother never listened to you, when you approached me, I would have told you where the bathroom was, and that would have been it, man. I just happened to recognize your voice, and we got to talking, and I thought my mother would really get a kick out of the fact that I spoke with Jonathan King and met him, and you inviting me into the city meant something to me because it would mean something to my mother, so... Out of mild curiosity and politeness, I accepted your invitation to come in and view take a tour of the radio station, and like the sly fucking fox you are, all of a sudden it became a lot more. And I was presented with something that I was blindsided by, I'm not mounting my defense or excuse for why it is that I let a man, jerk me off and suck my dick. I didn't wake up that day thinking it was anything remotely possible. something I never fantasized about. I was very attracted to women. So, gee, what am I, some sort of latent homosexual, or just I can't come to terms with the fact that I'm a gay guy, you know, or I have proclivities that might lead me in that direction? It was as simple as this. I gotta hand it to you. You came up with the perfect bait to lure in a horny 15-year-old. There's no exception to the fact that, by and large, your average 15-year-old has raging hormones, and you know, you conveniently leave out a couple photo albums full exclusively pertaining to orgies that have taken place in that apartment. And my head was spinning. You had some very attractive women in those pictures. I'd like to know who they are. And girls having sex with girls, guys on guys, girls on guys. It just, you know, and I thought, you invited me to an orgy. You said, you know, if you're interested, you're more than welcome. And if you want to do it with a guy, do it with a guy. But if what you're into is women, hey, who knows? Just let it go. That's what the in crowd's up to. They're just about sexual satisfaction, you know. Just don't get hung up on what society will tell you. And I gotta say, it was the notion of being able to have sex with very attractive adult women was highly appealing to me. And I just thought, if when you did all of a sudden say, you know, I've got some really hot porno that I could put in on the telly in my bedroom, you want to jerk off? And I thought, you know, it's not what I was interested or wanted to do, but I started to think, you know what, this guy, he's going to lose interest in me really fast if I don't do this. And there goes the invitation and the sex with women, and I don't know. It just happened. And I don't live my life with regret over having it. I don't. It's not like I need to sort of reassure myself, well, you know, if I wasn't tricked, I wouldn't have done something homosexual. But the truth is, prior to that experience with you and subsequent, I've never had an experience with another man. I've had no interest. And it pisses me off that, you know, I was off my game that day and was susceptible to your entrapment. And in my book, you got away with it. It wasn't something I was looking to make a federal case out of. I wasn't interested in telling my parents, telling the authorities, doing anything about it. It's not that I was dreadfully embarrassed about it. It's just sort of like, look, it happened. I'll take responsibility for it. I'll chalk it up to a life experience and move on, okay? And I certainly never considered it being an isolated incident. My assumption was, yeah, this guy must do it to other kids. And it's not, I didn't want to spearhead a campaign or make sure that I'm going to make sure he never does this to anyone else. I'm like, maybe that's on me, but I'm like, fuck it. I just, out of my mind. I'll move on with my fucking life. And the wonderful thing about the internet is that, you know, years later, we managed to reconnect. And I caught up with you. And when I say caught up, I had a chance to catch up on what you had been up to and some of the things that had happened in your life. Like, you had been tried and found guilty and given 7 years and served 3.5. And I just, what bothers me is you just won't shut the fuck up. Consider yourself lucky that for all the shenanigans and illegal activity you've been up with, you served 3.5 years. Consider yourself lucky, you know. But stop this campaign of exonerating your name and just let go of the European Court of Human Rights ever exonerating or clearing your name. I'm going to assure you right now, okay? That's never going to happen. I'm going to see to it, okay? Because I'm going to put my character up against yours. And you dig into my fucking past, and you show me when I've ever done something. I've never pursued any sort of lawsuit against anyone. There's nothing in my past that is, I'm no fucking saint. Everyone lives their life, and there's shit that maybe I'm not thrilled with, but God forbid I would never accuse someone of something of this nature, so serious like this, just randomly go, you know what, I'm gonna fuck with this guy. It's not gonna happen. Let's look at my life, and let's look at yours. You're a fucking creepy sexual predator. End of story. Suffer the consequences. that means no one wants to have anything to do with you. Just hang up ever having a fucking career, a legitimate one. You're a fucking bottom feeder. Anyway, whatever. Have a nice life.